I managed to get through 38 games this Steam Next Fest, so let's go through some of my thoughts. When I downloaded Nevergrave, The Witch and the Curse, it became very apparent that I had downloaded this roguelike Metroidvania without looking beyond the cover, because I did not realize until I was playing that you're not playing as a cute little witch, you're playing as a cursed hat possessing the corpse of a cute little witch. The fun of that is also being able to use your possession abilities on a host of other creatures, or even abandon a body altogether to navigate tight spaces or Yoshi jump your way to new areas. The combat and the village upgrading were incredibly fun, and I didn't get to experience the multiplayer, but it looks like a blast. Once a Tale is like if the LEGO games and an oddly nightmare fuel stop motion had a baby that grew up in the lands of the Brothers Grimm. And their cutscenes are up close, the stop motion animation, while definitely an interesting feat, I just found personally upsetting in just a weird Uncanny Valley type of way. I had no problems with the puzzles themselves or the control of the characters, but the one thing that did hamper my enjoyment was the terrible fixed panning camera angles and the identical cutscenes between loading game sections. Normal Fishing is a retro-inspired fishing game where you and your definitely human wife meet to a quiet fishing village and everything is perfectly normal. This game has the most stupidly fun fishing minigames, from the old school Space Impact style chase to the final frantic time minigame, with a huge variety of interesting fish and not quite fish to catch and special events. And occasionally you're facing off against mega crabs and ghost pirates with bizarre plot leading you along. My only complaints really are that while the graphics and the fonts perfectly suit the vibe they're going for, it does cause some eye strain for me, and I would like to see both some alternate control options for the tank-like rowing, and a kind of health indicator for the fishing hook. Honestly though, I've harped on about this before, but this game was an absolute surprise hit for me and I loved it. Pepper Grinder is yet another banger picked up by Devolver Digital. This platformer dials up the action with the sand diving mechanics that were familiar to players of Ori, with really insane combat, puzzling, and fun exploration, all through a variety of drill powers. It is such a satisfying game, and it's well worth a try. Pine Hearts is a really wholesome camping adventure that sees you exploring a hiking destination and helping folks along the way. The animations are adorable, the characters are all very fun, and I like the option to skip the little timing mechanics associated with the different tools and abilities, because they are quite repetitive and not particularly fun, but they're only a minor thing. My only real issue with the game was that the map doesn't really reflect the real environment, instead opting for an abstract block that may as well have been a compass, and in a game that's entirely made of winding paths, that wasn't particularly helpful. Tell Me Your Story is a cozy game where you learn and relive your grandma's younger adventures through a variety of puzzles. While the broad concept is entirely my jam, I found most of the puzzles themselves quite lackluster, either being too easy where you accidentally solved them, or too abstract in which you just brute force your way through them by wildly clicking and dragging things. I wanted to love this game, but it's just not quite there for me yet. You can check out the full videos over on YouTube, or follow me here for even more indie game recommendations.